What's up guys, Frugal BC, and today got an old favorite that I'm bringing back, our Algorand Versus series. Today we're looking at SUI Network. That's right, this is a new chain that just launched less than a year ago and already is overtaking other chains in a number of metrics, including overtaking Algorand in market cap. Now when we do these series, we do this by way of comparison, but it's not necessarily to say one is better than the other, but just to give us a picture. It's like kind of a starting spot, especially since a lot of my audience are Algorand people, and we've done this for Hedera, we've done this for Cosmos and Solana. Today we're doing it SUI Network, and so we're going to take a look at SUI Network and how it compares to Algorand. Before we do that, guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button and the like button. Remember, as I always say, you don't have to smash it, you can just press it gently. And since this is a non-Algorand video, it kind of is, well, very briefly, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Non-Fungible Domains. If you have an algo address, you want to make it a lot simpler, you can go to Non-Fungible Domains and get one like me. I've got frugalbc.algo. And also brought to you by Fractal Monsters, a play-to-earn game on the Algorand blockchain. You can play it for free. It's a lot like Pokemon and Tamagotchi mixed together with a little bit of Smash Brothers. Check out both of those in the description. Now let's get on to our comparison with SUI Network. So I was watching this chain for a little while now, and I noticed on one of the Web3 gaming forums that I follow, a lot of games are starting to be built on the SUI network, and I thought that was very, very interesting. SUI is water in Japanese, by the way. It's sort of the or Chinese, I guess. It's one of the readings, Mizu or Sui. Usually Sui for Japanese, it's Sui if it's used at the end of a sentence, I believe, as a suffix. Anyway, and since they have a water theme, I'm assuming that's where they got that from. But first we want to go through the metrics, and then I'm going to give you some information about what I think is interesting and unique about SUI Network. So let's just look at. Okay, so you can see SUI is at about $1.20 right now, and its market cap is number 51, is actually surpassed Algorand. We'll get to that in our assessment. Just had a big pump today. I actually bought around that $1.09 mark a little bit this morning. I've been doing a ton of research on SUI, and it's very interesting. But yeah, for some reason, just really pumped up. Well, first off, we can talk about circulating supply. So SUI has 1.1 billion SUI circulating, and it is a $10 billion total supply coin. Just like Algorand is 10 billion, but Algorand has over 8 billion out already. And as I said, in market cap, despite being pretty new, not having come out less than a year ago, it's already at number 51. So it's a top 100 coin already, which is pretty crazy. Number 14 in volume, by the way. That's wild. And that has had a big increase. It's 115% increase from what I'm guessing from the day before, maybe. But that's really good. And the price is climbing it's interesting that the price is climbing as we speak. It's always a good sign when you're making a video on a coin. So it surpassed Algorand. Algorand's at 54, at least it was last I checked within 10 minutes ago. These things can change a lot. As that price climbs, we might see it actually go to 150 really quickly, but it's nice to see it climb. We're going to have some other news about SUI coming up too. But yeah, this is some of the metrics. What are some other ones? So one thing we can talk about that won't be shown on that chart is TPS capabilities. As you know, Algorand has a max capability of 10,000 transactions, and we did test. We didn't get to 10,000, but we did test a huge number of transactions with the orange mining experiment little thing we did. We did that on New Year's Eve live. You were able to watch us do it. You were able to join with us and watch us do it. Wasn't so great in terms of you're basically using transactions to mine these orange ASAs, which are tokens built on Algorand. It really tested the network. But anyway, 10,000 is the theoretical max. SUI Network has a 297,000 theoretical max. Some have cited it lower, more like 100,000. I'm not sure why, but most of the things I've seen, including from SUI Network's own documentation, say 297,000 max. We're going to talk about why that is in a little bit as well. Finality, Algorand is considered instant finality. SUI Network is less than a second, but also doesn't really count block times because of the way they operate. Algorand is a 2.8 second block time, but it's considered final the moment it's minted basically. So very interesting. And we talked about market cap. I had it in my notes at 51 versus Algorand at 54. So we kind of talked about that. What are some things to note about SUI network? One is just the traction that it's gaining in Web3 gaming. And this is because it makes everything smooth, from super fast transaction times like we talked about, and sheer volume per second is really impressive. Plus they allow for parallel transactions and batch transactions. That's really great because you don't have to like click it again and again and again. You can do everything at once. It makes that experience really smooth. And I think that's a lot of the reason why we're seeing a lot of these game companies turn to SUI and say, hey, we can build on this and have it be really smooth. So the whole premise of SUI network is to make things smooth for the user, to make it less Web3-ish, if that makes sense. And one of the ways they do that is through ZK login, which allows you to use like social logins for your wallet, and just makes it way easier than all the complicated stuff you have to do with wallets sometimes. So they're made to be super smooth. The user experience should be such that users don't feel like they're in Web3, because I will tell you that is a dividing line. It's a real dividing line. Something I talked about with John Allen Woods of the CTO of Algorand Foundation. This idea that the web, eventually the crypto experience needs to be one where it's almost indistinguishable. It's kind of under the hood, so to speak. Kind of like computing. If you use your iPhone, you don't really need to know a lot about how the iPhone works. It's just intuitive. And that's what we're looking for crypto adoption, is like you really need it to be very usable by people. One interesting little piece of information that SUI within the last few days took over Cardano, surpassed Cardano as the number 2 non-EVM chain by TVL. Now, what's TVL? It's transactions, total. What is that? It's transactions. Usually I was able to spell that out. So it's basically the volume on the chain. It's an interesting metric. I don't always think it's the most, it's a tricky transaction, because as a price goes up of a coin, it also impacts the TVL, because it's based in dollars. So if you had it based on tokens, that might be a better metric, or just volume, but it is still a pretty good accomplishment for a brand new chain, I have to say that. And one of the things I heard on a space this morning that people from the SUI Foundation were talking about is that there's like stackable NFTs. So it's stackable. In other words, someone can have a gaming project and someone else can actually build an NFT that works on that game, which I think is really interesting and probably opens up a whole lot of opportunities. Now I want to give you a little overview of some of the games. They look pretty cool. All of the ones I'm going to show you, unfortunately, are Windows, which kind of puts it out of my reach. I have Mac stuff. I've been thinking about getting a Windows machine just because so much stuff is Windows only. By the way, here's a list of all the SUI network wallets. There's the SUI wallet itself, which comes right from there. SUIet wallet, Splash wallet, Ethos wallet, Keystone wallet. Lots of different wallets you can look for and try to, if you want to have your own wallet. No airdrops, by the way. It's probably a good idea. Some DeFi apps. We got the CEDAS protocol. This is basically DeFi, liquidity, automatic market makers, DEX, etc. Cubic, sort of a platform for games. There's a few out there. So this is just a very Hero Swap for like a cross-chain crypto swap platform. Here's some of the games they're talking about. Stella Fantasy. So I looked at the trailer for this one. Maybe we'll take a little look at the end. Looks really cool. Also Windows only, unfortunately, but looks a lot like, now I'm drawing a blank on it. Oh, totally drew a blank on it. Sorry about that. Looks really cool though. Overword is like a free-to-play sandbox RPG. They don't have a link to it. And then Bushi, which is like a action-packed third-person shooter arena combat game, but also built in feudal Japan, which is makes it very interesting. Let's just take a look at. Can't believe I can't think of the name of that game. See if it'll pull this up really quick. I think it'll pull up let's just watch a little bit of this. I might skip ahead to show you some of the gameplay. Here's just to show you some of the gameplay that's available here. Still can't think of the name of that game. I just thought of it today and I cannot think of it. Drawing a complete blank. So it looks fun. You know, I like RPGs, so I like to play this game. I have to get a PC though to play it. All right, so that's my very brief overview of SUI Network. I'm really excited by what I see here with it. This is, like I said, this is very brief. If you're a SUI Network enthusiast, you know, I've way more research that I plan on doing on SUI, and so this shouldn't be considered like, you know, you can probably think of a bunch of things that you think are really interesting that I didn't talk about, but that's just some of the things that caught my attention early on. So I'm going to be digging more into SUI. I bought a little into it. I think it's really cool. I want to try some stuff out on it, try some wallets, try some dApps, games, etc., etc. So stick with it. For Algorand people, I think this might be a good one to diversify into. It seems to be an upcoming chain, and just a lot of fun to play with. You know, one of the things I really like about blockchains like Algorand and Hedera is they seem to be made to be used, and SUI Network seems like that times 10 maybe. So far, now I did play, there's one game called Panzer Dogs that you can play on iOS. And so I have that on my iPhone and I've been playing that. It's a pretty fun game. Seems to work very smoothly. I haven't really dived into any of the play to earn elements, but I hope you enjoyed this little look at SUI Network through our Versus series, which is meant to kind of expose us to some other chains and make comparisons. So far, I think of all of them, I think SUI Network has done the best in this series as compared to Algorand. So definitely worth checking out and being interested. And I did notice some interest in other Algorand folks on this chain too. So anyway, as always, stay safe out there. Remember, not your keys, not your crypto. I'm Frugal BC, and I'll see you in the future.